Hello and good afternoon to all. Uh, so, today we are covering our next lecture on the base of ultraviolet spectroscopy. Up till now, we have just discussed about the whatever the syllabus that we have. Then we discuss about the electromagnetic radiation in that electromagnetic spectrum, and then the spectroscopy, basic spectroscopy. But now we are moving towards our first unit, that is ultraviolet spectroscopy. So this one is the biggest chapter and very important chapter in which we discuss onto the basic concept of whatever the basic. In the case of basic concept, we must know what is the region where it lies. Then we must also know whatever the principles. Then its theory part, which not been included or not shown in your syllabus, but it is an very important point. Then we discuss about the there is an electrons, different types of electrons, n, pi, sigma, their transitions, oxochromes oxochromes, bathochromes, uh, and there is an various concept of UV spectroscopy in this today's lecture. So this one generally UV spectroscopy having we divide into four different parts: UV1, UV2, UV3, UV4. One by one we discuss each and every point. So first of all we start with our objective of our today's lecture. So whatever the objective are there, they must be able to know the principle and theory of UV spectroscopy. Means you must know the principle and theory. Then uh, differentiate various types of electron. As I told to you, there are three types of electron: n, pi, and sigma. Then we have to know about the different transitions of electron. So how transition takes place, there are the four types of transitions are there that we have to discuss in detail. Now we start with our first point, that is the principle and theory of UV spectroscopy. As we already know, UV is the absorption type of spectroscopy, where so absorption means what? When we pass certain radiation, whatever the electron present in that molecules, such a kind of electron absorb that radiation. As shown in this, it is an absorption spectroscopy. Then valence electron present in a molecule. मॉलिक्यूल के अंदर जो वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन रहते हैं, दैट मॉलिक्यूल्स एब्जॉर्ब radiation energy of UV region. Mostly, if you say visible UV visible spectroscopy, they absorb the UV visible radiation. If you say only UV, then region from 200 to 400 nanometers comes, and from 400 nanometer to 800 nanometers, UV visible regions comes. As we say, valence electron present in a molecule absorb radiation energy of UV regions. Then, as it absorb the radiation, first of all, you must know one thing: at ground level, it possesses a energy that we discussed. That at the ground level, it possesses rotational energy and vibrational energy. So that energy is present, and we apply another energy from outside by the use of radiation source. So as we, if suppose this one a ground state where they having their own energy, then we apply the energy. So जैसे ही उनके ऊपर यूवी एनर्जी अप्लाई करते हैं, which causes the excitation of molecules. So these molecules at the ground state converted into the excited state. So causes the excitation of molecule, which lead to transitions of the electron. Movement means transition means what we already know, where in the case of rotation there is an movement about its axis. Vibrational, inside that molecule there is an atom, their movement takes place, while in the case of transition complete molecule get changed. So there is an complete molecule means from ground state is go toward the excited state, there is a place is going to be changed, lead to transition of electron ground state to the excited state. And there is a higher limit, that is excited state. Transition state is the highest limit. Okay, it can't go toward the electronic state, so it cannot be divided further. So whatever the atom present in a molecule have capacity, as we already discussed, they have their own capacity to rotate and vibrate. So as the atom present in molecule have the capacity, we already just discussed that one, rotate, vibrate, with respect to each other. That is the first important thing. And there when this such movement takes place and when we apply the energy, then there is a transition takes place. Transition means what? If suppose in this diagram, if you're able to see at the ground state that electron present, that whatever the electron present molecule, that whole molecules moves upward, that causes the excess of energy because it having its own rotational energy as well as vibrational energy. But as we apply the energy through the radiation source, then it go toward the excited state. And these absorption are different, depends upon the type of electron present. So there are the mainly three types of electrons. We have to discuss that each and every electron. Mostly there are the three type of electron: n, pi, sigma. We know that all thing about saturated, unsaturated, unimolecular. So that is the, because of that electron there is a different excitation takes place, and there might be a transfer of the charge on the electrons present in a molecule, and mostly it takes place in different level. We know s level, sp hybridization, we know sp, then there is a d, then there is a f, but it mostly takes place in the d and f level. Okay, so now we move toward the type of electron. As we just discussed, now radiation pass toward the substance, excitation takes place, and when excitation means transition takes place, they gives out the energy, come toward the ground state. So this excitation is depend upon the electron. We know there are the three type of electrons. Now we study that three type of electrons. So on the basis of type of electron, first one is the n electron, also known as non-bonded electron, which is not involved in any kind of bonding between atom और a molecule. वो किसी भी बॉन्डिंग केस में इन्वॉल्वमेंट नहीं देता है between atom or molecules. We know the examples: SO and H, sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen. These are the lone pair of electron present in organic molecules. These are the examples of an electron. Move toward the second one, pi electron. As we know, pi electrons means what? These are the unsaturated compounds. Might be there are the presence of various double bond or triple bond. So here might be double bond, here might be, we can take three different lines, triple bond. We can take alkenes, alkynes, examples, trines in aromatic compounds. Okay, so these are the pi bond electrons. And sigma electrons means what? Present in saturated compound. Saturated means what? Consists of a single bond. Absorb compound in a vacuum UV regions. Generally, saturated compound absorb radiation of UV vacuum regions. Vacuum region means what? From 10 nanometer to 190 nanometer, that regions comes. That region is called as the vacuum region. Generally, sigma electron absorb the that radiation in vacuum regions. And example, single bonded alkane, then whatever the saturated bond present in an carbon hydrogen in liquid paraffin. We know where we use the liquid paraffin generally to calculate the melting points, to calculate the boiling points, that you already studied in your first year, where the liquid that we are using is nothing but liquid paraffin, which is having a highest bonding and it requires higher temperature to melt or boil that we are using in the case of this one. So these are the three different types of electron: N, pi, sigma. N is non-bonded, pi is unsaturated, sigma is saturated one. So now there is a region of UV. As we already know, first one region is the gamma, then X-rays, then UV, then IR, then microwave, and finally the radio frequency regions that we already discussed. Out of which gamma rays, X-rays 0.001 to 0.01, 0.01 to 10, and from 10 to whatever the 800 nanometer regions come, that comes the UV region. Out of which 10 to 190 region that comes, nearly about 200 also we can consider, is UV vacuum region. Okay, and after 200 to 400 region, that comes 200 nanometer to 400 nanometer, or 2000 angstrom to 4000 angstrom, that is called as the UV region. Okay, which are invisible regions which can't see by our naked eyes. Whereas the third regions, that comes, okay, from 200 to 8, or whatever the 400 to 800 nanometer is there, that region is called as the UV visible region. So as in the slide, your radiation, the wavelength range of UV. Radiation start at blue, ends at visible light 400 angstrom, and ends at 200 angstroms. So it is divided into two special regions: near UV region. Near means very near to UV region, that is comes 200 angstrom to 400 angstrom, and far or vacuum region, which is comes from 100 angstrom to 2000 angstroms. And UV spectrum involves with the electronic excitation and have sufficient energy to excite valence electron in many atoms or molecule. Commercial UV equipment cost or operates between 200 to 800 nanometers. So on the basis of this one slide, going towards in just simple language, I must want to say that from 10 nanometer to 200 nanometer, the region come is UV vacuum region. From 200 to 400 regions come is the UV invisible region or UV region, and from 400 to 800 nanometers, the regions comes is called as the UV visible region, in which we can able to see, or we can able to visualize some things that comes in the 400 to 800 region. On whole spectroscopy, we study about the region between 200 to 800 nanometers. Then, theory of UV spectroscopy. In the case of UV spectroscopy, as we already know, there is a transition takes place. Transition from what? Ground state to the excited state. When it goes to the excited state, it contains the excess of energy. That excess of energy is gives out and come toward the ground state. Okay, so that thing are explaining in this whole whatever the slide is there. So in the case of this, we know that E is equal to h mu. E is nothing but the energy, h is the Planck constant, and mu is the frequency. So on the basis of this equation, we know that frequency is inversely proportional to the whatever the wavelength is there, and h is the Planck constant, E is the energy that we are applying. Energy and frequency are interrelated with each others. Okay, so now whatever the it's that is the common equation, but this E is nothing but this energy. But what going to be happen? Actually, energy is nothing but E0 to E1. E0 means what? Whatever the energy that present in the ground state. And what is the E1? When whatever the now we have electronic vibrational electronic levels and rotational electronic levels. So here is what at the ground state possesses energy. Then we apply the external radiation. Then the energy is higher because there initial and another absorbed energy. So because of that one, it go toward the excited state. So here E0 takes place at ground state, E1 is at the further excited state. So we replace this E by E0 and E1. So E1 is the excited excess of energy, E0 is the ground state of energy. But actual energy difference between the ground state and excited state we are calculated. So excited state E1 minus E0 is the ground state is equal to H mu. We replace this H mu as it is. But as we know, E is equal to E1 minus E0. But as we know, mu is inversely proportional, or whatever the wavelength is there is always inversely proportional to the wavelength with the speed of light c. So we replace that mu with c by lambda. So the equation that we are get over here is E1 minus E0 means ground state excited state is equal to, we replace this by c by lambda, so hc by lambda. What is c? Velocity of light. What is lambda? Wavelength of absorbed radiation. So this one is the final equation of this theory. So whatever the total energy of a molecule is sum of electronic rotational and electronic vibrational energies present in it. So might be E total energy is nothing but the E electronic plus E vibrational and plus the E rotation. So electronic is greater than E vibrational is greater than the E rotation. So this one is the equation of whatever the theory of UV spectroscopy. You remember this equation that we are using in the case of IR spectroscopy too. Even we are using in various theories in further. So this one is the theory of UV. Then we must know type of transitions. There are mainly various kinds of transition as shown in the diagram. Okay, if you're able to see this one, sigma to sigma star type of transitions. As we know, saturated to saturated means saturated. This one is a bonding sigma means bonded sigma to anti-bonding sigma star. Then if you are able to see, these one are the nearly about same. This one from this point it travels means require higher energy. Then at this point is the second one, that is the N sigma star. N means what? The SONH sulfur, uh, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen. These are the SONH. Whereas sigma generally consists of single bonded component. So here is the transition take place pi to pi star. Pi means what? Bonding to this anti-bonding pi orbitals. Whereas the finally which is contribute the very less amount of energy, that is n to pi star. So just remember there are four types of transitions. Lesser energy is n pi star, which is having the very less energy, and higher energy is the sigma to sigma star, and these are having the nearly same energy. So that things as the n pi star. Okay, so this we discuss very less energy. Then pi to pi star and n to sigma star, they require nearly about the same energy, and there is a finally sigma to sigma star is there, which is require highest energy among themselves. Okay, and on the basis of energy we have shown in this equation sigma to sigma star is greater than n to sigma star is greater than pi to pi star is greater than n to pi star, means sigma to sigma star is greater than n to sigma star, n to sigma star is greater than pi to pi star, and this pi to pi star is greater than the n to pi star. So these are the type of transitions that we have to be study in this lecture. So just remember sigma means what? Sigma to sigma star. Then we started with from lower to higher energy, n to pi star. So n means what? This one, and pi star means what? Non-bonding orbitals to anti-bonding orbital. Whenever you draw a diagram, you must draw the diagrams where you just wrote down that bonding, bonding, conversion of bonding to anti-bonding, whereas N is the non-bonding groups. As we already discussed, N never bonds with anyone. So that's why these are things. Now we move toward this one. First one is a very less energetic N to pi star. So N to pi, N means nothing but you just remember the example SONH. So unsaturated molecules. Why it's unsaturated molecules? Because this pi groups comes. Pi means unsaturated molecules having atoms like the we take a molecules, that molecule is an unsaturated one and which is having a atom like sulfur, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Okay, so that SON, sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen, contains lone pair of electrons. What are the containing? Lone pair of electrons and convert from non-bonding orbitals to anti or anti-bonding orbitals. So the conversion is very means the time taken or the energy required is very low. Because why this requires very low? Because as shown in this diagram, the whatever the n2 pi star is there, that non-bonding antibody, the movement is in the one cycle only. The distance is not too far, and that's why energy required is very less. Okay, example is there. We are taking the double bonded groups aldehyde, ketone. Okay, so then the nitro compounds also there. So these are the kind of examples which shown and pi type of transition. So in the case of this one, might be saturated, might be unsaturated. It shows both type of transitions. If you take the examples, n pi star unsaturated one, whereas pi pi star also unsaturated one, saturaldehyde show both type of transitions, n pi star and pi to pi star at at low energy and high energy. So we know n to pi star is a low energy, whereas pi to pi star it is an higher energy is there, around 290 nanometers and 180 nanometers. Because whatever the wavelength is less, higher is the energy. Okay, so that is about the n to pi star. Then we move toward the next one, pi to pi star. As we already studied that one in the diagram, that this type of transition require the energy lies between n to sigma star and n to pi star. So if you study the very previous whatever the pi to pi star. So in the case of this one, the energy is there that it lies from this is a pi to pi star generally n to pi star and n to sigma star. In between that, that energy is required. So it is high higher means wavelength इसकी क्या होगी? This one is having a lesser energetic, higher wavelength. In the case of this one, what is going to be happen? They are somewhat higher energetic. This also higher energetic, wavelength is low. So in the case of this one here, electron from bonding pi orbitals promoted to anti-bonding pi star orbitals due to the transition. वहाँ पे transition होता है. Then this type of transition occurs in unsaturated molecule contain the pi electron. Simply है कि pi to pi star है तो pi star pi वाले compound इसका क्या दिखाएंगे हमें? Transition दिखाएंगे. Addition of more double or triple bond. If you added any double bonds, if you take the example of alkene and we added the 1,3-butadiene, what is going to be happen? There is addition of two double bonds. In case of alkene, there is a single double bond. So addition of more double or triple bond makes lambda max. So what going to be happen if we added the double bond or triple bond group into that one? Makes lambda max shift toward longer wavelength. Longer wavelength means what? Wavelength goes on increase and energy goes on decreasing when there is a addition of any kind of double bonds. We can say example of bathochromic shift, also called as the red shift, where wavelength is high, energy is low. Then whatever the example is there, whatever the double bonded groups, triple bonded groups, these are the example. If we know that the example is alkanes, alkynes, nitrines, etc. These are the kind of example in the case of pi to pi star. Then absorption, there is a short example. Absorption usually occurs in the ordinary UV spectrophotometer. Then absorb bands in unconjugated alkenes at 170 to 190 nanometer. Then absorption bands in carbonyls is 180 nanometer. So introduction of alkyl groups in olefinic linkage produce, when we add any olefinic linkage, produce the bathochromic shift. Also as the red shift means where when we added any such a groups, the bonding goes on increasing and wavelength also goes on increasing, energy decreases. So these are the pi to pi star of transitions. Then there is an n to sigma star transition. They are nearly same energy, less energy than the sigma to sigma star, but nearly about n to pi star it is having more energy, and pi to pi star and n to sigma star they having the nearly about same energy. So but the difference is that in the previous case n to pi star there is a transition between the SO and H and the whatever the unsaturated groups are there. But in the case of this one, transition occur, saturated molecule contain the lone pair of electrons, and whatever the lone pair of electrons like contain heteroatom like the carb, whatever the sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen, or halogens, SONH. Okay, sometimes halogen, hydrogen we can say, but the halogens are there. They having the less energy than the sigma to sigma star transition. In saturated alkyl halides, the energy required for transition decrease. अगर हम saturated alkyl symbol alkyl halide group लेंगे, CH3Cl, CH3Bi or anything, the energy required for transition decrease. उनकी energy required for transition decrease. When it decrease, when increase in the size of halogen atoms. So जितनी means ज़्यादा उसकी साइज बढ़ेगी, ग्रुपिंग बढ़ेगा, उससे क्या हो जाएगा, उसका ट्रांजिशन क्या होगा, डिक्रीज होता रहेगा. Okay, so whatever the peaks that obtained generally in the region of 80 to 200 nanometers. Why it is very low? Because this nanometer range is very low because they are highly energetic. Only the more than this sigma to sigma star is the very high energetic. Okay, so if you take the example of methyl chloride, अगर हमने मिथाइल क्लोराइड एग्जांपल लिया है तो लैम्बडा मैक्स ऑफ 173 nanometers. If you added as per the periodic groups, okay, chlorine is having 173, but when we added the iodine groups, then lambda max is shifted toward the 258 nanometers. This type of transition is very sensitive to hydrogen bondings. Okay, example alcohols and amines. So whatever the hydrogen bonding क्या करता है, shift the UV absorption to shorter wavelength. उसको shorter wavelength की तरफ shift करने की कोशिश करता है. So that is the N to sigma star, and finally sigma to sigma star type of transition. So what happen in the case of sigma to sigma star? Generally bonding to anti-bonding takes place. So transition occurs between saturated molecule not contain lone pair of electron. Lone pair of electron is SONH, so it doesn't contain any kind of lone pair of electron. Get promoted to bonding to anti-bonding sigma star. As we already know, sigma to sigma star is required very high, mostly one of the highest amount of energy. As we taking the example propane, cyclopropane, methane, ethane, which is the single bonded component are the examples. Okay, methane CH4 has the CH bonds, so the absorption maximum at 122 nanometers. So the final is the sigma to sigma transitions. This one is the highest transition we already discussed. Uh, Consist of transition occurs between the saturated molecule where there is already discussed that doesn't contain a lone pair of electrons, where they promoted from lower bonding to whatever the sigma bonding to anti-bonding sigma star. This transition, this type of transition require very high amount of energy. Question may arise in your mind is that which one is having a very less energy. So n one is the example, sigma, sigma star, pi, uh, that we know. Okay, sigma, then pi, then n, then that pi star and sigma star. So as we discussed that in the previous slide. Okay, so whatever the sigma to sigma star is there, The question may arise that which one is having less energy, so n super star, and question may another arise that which one is the highest energy, that sigma to sigma star transition is require the highest amount of energy. So uh, in the case of the previous example, uh, so methane actually what going to be happen, sigma to sigma star, this kind of transition is a very high energetic, and the energy is lies between the vacuum region. So in the case of vacuum region, the energy is from 10 angstrom to 199 angstrom or 200 angstrom, but that energy or that wavelength we can't study it. So as shown in example, in this case of methane, has CH bond show absorption maximum at 122 nanometers. The usual spectroscopic technique cannot be used below 200 nanometers. हम 200 के नीचे 200 nanometers we can't study. To study this high energy transition, the entire region should be evacuated. Okay, to study this high energy transition, the entire energy is evacuated vacuum, और हम वहाँ पे evacuate करना पड़ता है, हमें एक medium देना पड़ता है vacuum और U region. Here the excitation occurs with net relation of electronic spin, and electronic spin is very high energetic, as we know that rotational, transitional, vibrational, and more than that there is an electronic energy which is the total energy. So electronic spin takes place, and which takes place when the U vacuum region, and that vacuum region we can't study. Mostly we study the UV region and UV visible regions. So these are the four type of transitions. So thank you very much for your patience listening.